This is one of Japan's most iconic flood defenses, a towering steel arch that has protected Osaka for over 50 years. But now, it's being torn down. Why? Because Japan's next disaster may not be a storm, it could be something far worse. Osaka is a city built on water. With rivers weaving through neighborhoods and a port facing the Pacific, it's long been vulnerable to floods. After a devastating typhoon in 1961, the city made a bold move. It built a system of massive water gates to keep the ocean out. The crown jewel? The Kizugawa Water Gate, a 500-ton steel arch that lowers across the river like a drawbridge before a typhoon hits. Alongside gates on the Ajigawa and Shiranashi rivers, it became part of Osaka's identity. But now these very gates are being dismantled, not because they failed, but because Japan's greatest threats have changed. Japan is no stranger to natural disasters. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and typhoons strike regularly. From Tokyo's Skytree, built to withstand major earthquakes, to the Kansai International Airport, constructed on an artificial island engineered to settle and resist typhoons and storm surges, Japan has long designed its infrastructure with resilience in mind. One of the most astounding examples is the Tokyo metropolitan area outer underground discharge channel, a colossal flood diversion system hidden beneath Saitama. It features 5 massive silos and a giant underground pressure control tank, sometimes called the Underground Temple. Japan leads the world in disaster engineering. So, when built in the 1970s, Osaka's arched floodgates were seen as revolutionary. At first glance, it might look like a piece of sculptural steel, but its design is pure engineering logic. Each gate consisted of a massive 500-ton steel arch suspended over the river. When a typhoon approached, the arch was lowered manually using a wire-based system, powered by electricity and monitored from a control room nearby. It took about 30 minutes to fully close, forming a solid barrier that stretched across the width of the river. The arched shape wasn't just aesthetic, it served a crucial purpose. In normal weather, the high clearance allowed ships to pass underneath without obstruction, preserving Osaka's role as a working port city. Unlike traditional vertical gates that might block navigation or require constant adjustment, the arch could stay raised indefinitely, lowering only when a storm threatened. Once deployed, the gate acted like a wall, blocking incoming storm surges from Osaka Bay and preventing seawater from pushing upstream into the city's low-lying districts. It was a simple system, but incredibly effective, and for decades it worked exactly as intended. One of their biggest tests came in 2018 when Typhoon Jebi, typhoon number 21, made landfall as the strongest storm to hit Japan in 25 years. The storm brought wind gusts of over 200 km per hour and caused widespread flooding. The Kizugawa Watergate was successfully deployed, holding back the storm surge and preventing further inland flooding. It was a clear demonstration that even after nearly half a century, the arch-shaped gate still had the strength to protect the city from nature's worst. But these defenses had one fatal flaw. They were built for typhoons, not tsunamis or the earthquakes that often trigger them. Unlike typhoons, which build gradually and push water in a single direction, tsunamis hit fast with enormous force and from multiple angles. They can surge over, around, and even beneath coastal defenses, creating intense lateral pressure across every point of contact. That's a big problem for the arched gate design. The gate isn't made from one solid piece, it's built from several massive steel sections bolted together at the seams. And during a tsunami, those seams become weak points. Think of it like pushing on a folding table. A little force keeps it steady, but push from the side and all the pressure hits the hinges, and that's where it breaks. In the same way, a tsunami doesn't just hit the gate head-on, it pushes sideways, underneath, and all at once, putting massive stress on those connection points. And these gates weren't built to handle that kind of pressure. And there's also the question of power. The entire gate mechanism relies on electricity to lower and raise the arch. Backup generators exist, but they depend on fuel lines that could rupture in an earthquake. If a major quake hits first, disabling the power and cutting fuel delivery, the gate could fail to deploy entirely. Even if the gate survives the initial shock, the system needs time to activate, up to 30 minutes to fully lower. A tsunami doesn't always offer that luxury. In short, while the arch gates were brilliant in their time, they're now outmatched by a new generation of threats. Their elegant form, once a symbol of protection, has become a structural liability in a country facing more unpredictable disasters than ever before. So, in 2023, after more than 50 years of service, Osaka made a difficult but necessary decision. The iconic arched water gates will be dismantled. The city has begun a long-term plan to replace these aging structures with a new generation of roller-type floodgates, a design that is simpler, stronger, and better suited to the realities of modern disasters. The entire upgrade is expected to cost around 36 billion yen, or about $240 million, and will unfold over the next 2 decades, replacing the Kizugawa, Ajigawa, and Shiranashi gates by 2040. But Osaka isn't starting from scratch. Japan has already been testing and perfecting this technology elsewhere. Take the Nagashima Water Gate in Mai Prefecture, a horizontal roller gate that spans nearly 15 meters high and can be quickly deployed to manage floodwaters. Or the Dotonbori River Gate right in Osaka, which uses a 2-stage roller system for fast, reliable protection in dense urban areas. Other systems go even further. Companies like Asahil Novex have developed non-powered automatic gates, cleverly designed to open and close using only water pressure and balance weights. No electricity, no fuel, just simple mechanics that work, even in a blackout. Then there's Tokyo's Kamihirai Floodgate, a 30-meter wide stainless steel wall built to withstand seismic shocks and extreme forces from all directions. It's fitted with rubber seal systems for maximum water tightness and designed with ship passage in mind, ensuring safety without sacrificing functionality. From slide gates to radial gates and sliding systems to smart automation, Japan is already laying the groundwork for a future of flood protection that's not just reactive, but resilient by design. These new systems come with key advantages: faster deployment during emergencies, independence from electricity or fuel, improved tsunami resistance, lower maintenance costs, and greater adaptability to Japan's ever-changing climate risks. So while the arch-shaped gates of Osaka will soon come down, they're making way for something better. Not just bigger steel, but smarter engineering. A new generation of defenses built not for the disasters of the past, but the ones still to come. Osaka's upgrade is just one piece of a much bigger story. Japan is reimagining its defenses, designing systems that can respond faster, survive longer, and save more lives. Take Tokyo, for example. Its Iwabushi water gates, first built in the 1920s, have since been replaced with modern gates designed to handle both heavy rainfall and seismic shocks. They don't just block water, they anchor the city's northern flood protection system. Then there's the northeast coastline. After the 2011 tsunami, Japan invested over $12 billion to construct 400 kilometers of concrete seawalls, towering barriers designed to buy time and save lives when the ocean turns violent again. But walls and gates are only one part of the strategy. Japan's next generation of flood defenses is built on 3 pillars: redundancy, gravity-based systems, and rapid deployment. If one system fails, another kicks in. If the power goes out, backup systems don't rely on it. If time is short, the defenses can still act fast. And not all solutions are made of steel. Cities are now building tsunami parks, green spaces that double as safe zones. These elevated parks offer shelter and act as barriers without disrupting the urban landscape. Critical infrastructure like schools and hospitals are being moved to higher ground. New buildings are designed with rooftop evacuation zones, And perhaps most importantly, there's an enormous push toward public education, ensuring every citizen knows where to go, what to do, and how to survive when the sirens sound. This is what resilience looks like in the 21st century, not just stopping the water, but staying one step ahead of it. Japan's evolving flood defenses tell a larger story, not just about engineering, but about adaptation. A country shaped by water, by earthquakes, by loss, now shaping its future through design, foresight, and the quiet strength of preparedness. The old gates did their job. They stood for resilience in their time. But now, resilience looks different. It's not just about building walls, it's about building smarter, thinking faster, planning further ahead. So what do you think? Will these next-generation systems be enough for the disasters of the future? Or is there still more to be done? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this MegaBuilds story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching it.